The Star.
Yeah, y'all already know. Step in the pan. That dude Fizz on the beat. Yeah. We live in entertainment. Sound change. Crown the kings, homie. This is where it get ill. About to have the tip off live as a tip drill. From the court to the diamond, to the track, to the big skin, flying around the field, starting five forever, keeping it real. If it matters in the world of sports, jeans and long sleeves, they taking no shorts. So hot to death, oh yes, these other sports podcasts live as a pros course. Biz market wave, the starting five goes off. No matter who you cheer for, emotions out the window, they analyzing with clear thoughts. They take it way deeper than the force ever. No longer got any use for the four letters. The latest news, score stats and the view from the sideline. Ain't no guideline, it's just the truth. Yeah, no need to dig for a pardon line. It's always in season. The people starting five. We going in on three. Run the baseline, starting five. Get it. We got what you need. If the sports news you seek, we don't waste time. We talking cause we live it. We got what you need. We going in on three. Run the baseline, starting five. Get it. We got what you need. And y'all know me, seven sign. I'm the illest cat stick. I got what you need.
Each and every week, as always, we got what y'all need. It's me, your boy the mayor, that DJ named Ace5, your mom's favorite fat guy from deepest, darkest Africa. And we back with the newest episode of the Start at 5, a day early, because whether you celebrate that it's Easter, that it's the summer solstice, Zombie Jesus Day, whichever you respectfully choose to celebrate tomorrow, we are giving y'all that day to do your thing. I know for me, it's a day, you, the family, what's up, Facebook user, whoever you are. As I tell y'all, please go to StreamYard.com/Facebook. Just do the little sign up thing. It ain't going to be that invasive or nothing. And we'll be able to see your freaking name. I have a feeling that might be Boogie. Shout outs to you, miss. And, you know, you're doing great on your recovery. And everybody, if you're friends with her, you know
Love
what
you, Boogie.
going through. Yeah, we're not gonna divulge all of that on our airways, unless she ever wants to come in and have a conversation with us about it. We could do that. But before all of that, let's get into the opening shout outs. What's good with y'all? Whoever wants to go first.
What's good? As the brother Jay likes to say, everything's Ishtar over here. You know what I'm saying? But everything's good, feeling good. It's been a good week. A lot of positive things happening. Looking to make some moves in the next couple of weeks. So on the up and up. I'm great. Hope everybody out there is doing great as well.
That's what's up. What's up, everybody? What's up, family? Everything is good over here. You know, just chilling in the backyard, getting ready for tomorrow to see everybody's 2019 Easter suits tomorrow in all colors. So we're ready to see them nice bold colors, like red and purple, creamsicle. So,
little sherbet orange.
That's it, baby. You know how the Easter suit game go.
Breaking it out of the good old dry cleaning I Love New York plastics. From 2019.
Shit got dust on it, you know?
Smell like the closet.
Yeah. Mothballs and shit.
But just for a quick aside for everybody who's celebrating tomorrow, I just want to give y'all a quick song.
Hey, bitch, you better praise God or I'm a shooting. That's on God. I ain't playing about my Lord and Savior. I'm on my job. If you ain't a Christian, I'ma slap you in the face. If it ain't about Jesus, I'ma hit you with this curve.
Damn.
Hell yeah,
Damn.
praise Jesus Christ, nigga, free Palestine, free TK.
Oh
This the
man.
trap game. Abraham Lincoln, 4 score and 16 bars ago.
I'll pause it right there because there was a bar said, and this was well before Betty White died, but he said, "R.I.P. Betty White." He said, "R.I.P. Betty White. I know she ain't dead yet, but I think it's coming." And but this
Oh.
song, and
Oh.
kinda, but no, but this joint came out years ago, at least a year or two ago. It's from the video somebody made up from some funny ass shit. But the artist who actually made the song is this dude named Zach Fox, and I guess it was more like a freestyle than an actual song. But the shit's hilarious. I'm gonna just show you a quick. I'm not gonna play. Like this is the video y'all need to go see on YouTube itself. I'm just gonna screen share y'all just so y'all know how funny looking this shit is. But he was in the booth rapping like this.
Wow.
But the shit is hilarious. The song is hilarious. Dude actually got music. Hey Courtney, as she's seen it. See, this my sister cousin slash whatever family, Ian's sister family, and she gets this kind of humor with me. Like, and I'm sure she even knows who Zach Fox is. And I actually, because of that song, which I put up, if you read the bottom, go follow the TikTok. I've been doing a series that I'm up to episode 21 of Rent-Free Randomness, which is just dumbass shit that comes to my head that was like infectious shit on the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's my question. It was like, where do you find this shit at? Because I would have never found this if you didn't show it. So
Like she said, that nigga hilarious. That nigga is hilarious. But yeah, like this, I found it on Facebook a while back, and whoever posted it was that video that I showed. And
wow.
I quickly played it short, hopefully, because I hope they don't pull the shit down and all that. But dude can actually rap though. Like after thinking about that, like I was thinking about this song and it just kept being stuck in my head. And then with Easter coming tomorrow, let me add this to the rent-free randomness joints that I've been doing. And yeah, I just this I wish I could play the whole thing because it's dumb.
I'm
But
just saying, if it ain't about Jesus get smacked in the face, though.
hey, this, this shit is fucking funny, yo. Hold on, I'm trying to get to my TikTok so I could show y'all. I could show y'all some of the rent-free randomness.
That's hysterical.
Like here we go. Let me get to it. And this is before we get to all the, the two main things that we got to cover this week, which are the NBA playoffs, which are kicking off right about now. We had a game happen already, but here's my rent-free randomness.
This was because of the end of regulation. Or rent-free randomness. Part 21. This was because of the end of regulation podcast.
Shout out to my cousin Ty.
Mm.
Y'all remember this?
This is a classic one. Yes.
Yeah.
How can you
Yes.
slap?
How you slap? She slapped me. You mean slap?
How can you slap? And then there's
Part 20.
oh wait,
Free randomness. Part 20. This one's because of my daughter. Barbecue foot massage. Joe's barbecue foot massage.
What?
Yo,
Yeah, man.
you
That
never
one.
seen that? You never seen that?
No barbecue and foot massage, nigga.
Yeah.
That does not go.
And here's another one.
Part 18. This is your fault, Mr. Wiley.
Question. Why is it that every time I turn on the radio, I hear the same 5 songs 15 times a day for 3 months?
Man, it's a throwback.
Man, fuck
that.
That.
That was it. Nah, that was my joint back. I know I was in junior high when that came out. I love that fucking record. But it's shit like that. It's funny shit like that comes to mind that started the rent-free randomness stream of videos. And like I said, I had to put the Zach Fox joint up there today in honor of Easter. It said, if you ain't a Christian, I'm gonna stab you in the face.
That's a bit much.
I know. I gotta show that to my wife. She
That's
probably
all
wouldn't like
Old Testament right there and shit. You know,
Well, yeah,
that's straight Old
that's it.
Testament right there, boy. They didn't
yeah.
fuck around in the Old Testament. You got.
No, that's plagues, taking first children.
People getting snatched. You know what I'm saying?
For
You
real.
got
Eye for
stuck.
an eye shit out there, boy.
But I'm not going down that rabbit hole with my non-believing self. We're going down the rabbit hole of the playoffs. I respect everybody who does believe. Like I said, I'm married to a Pentecostal Christian. Shout outs to my wife and my love as always. But let's get into these NBA playoffs and let me
Mhm.
try to get away from this wind. So far today, we got Jazz Mavericks, and the Jazz beat the Mavs 99-93. Currently going on by the time while this episode is going on at halftime. Timberwolves, as TJ said, have been leading the whole game
The
against the
entire
Grizzlies.
game. The entire game. They led the entire game. Anthony Edwards is the truth. Carl Anthony Towns had 11 points in the first quarter to show that he's that last playoff game was a fluke.
Well, I
John
wasn't
Morant.
going into
All
going
right.
over the games just yet. I'm
Okay.
just reading up all the matchups for the first round,
Go
and
ahead.
then we'll give our predictions. Next up, the second round Sixers versus the Toronto Raptors. The
Ooh, Lord, they better
Denver
get out that
Nuggets,
first round.
the Denver Nuggets versus the Golden State Warriors. Hawks versus Heat start off tomorrow.
Nice.
Nets Celtics,
Hmm.
Bulls
That's the game to
Bucks,
watch.
Pelicans Suns. Now I was gonna ask where do y'all want to start first, but TJ already did all the name dropping for the first game that's going on. So let's go to Timberwolves Grizzlies. Um, this one I thought I was looking at the Grizzlies to possibly beat the Timberwolves. Like I would say maybe 5 games at best 6, but if the Timberwolves are going to come out the gate like this in game 1 today, this might go 7. Um, I have no pick on this one, being just completely honest, TJ, because this is just two really young teams that are trying to find their way in how to play quote unquote playoff basketball.
Yeah. The Timberwolves have surprised me. Honestly, I didn't think they would get this good this quickly. But with the talent they have, they're proving otherwise. They got some season, a couple of vets in there sprinkled in there with Pat Bev, and a couple of other guys. But John Morant, Desmond Bain, and them boys, they've been playing serious basketball for the entire year. John Morant was doing stuff in the first half. He's an alien at this point. He was doing his body control and the way he gets to the basket is ridiculous. But I can see this going 6. I don't see it going 7. I see it going 6. The Grizzlies can figure out the Timberwolves. I'm gonna put it like that. The Grizzlies can figure out the Timberwolves, and it'll go 6.
No doubt. This is a hard matchup. Which team got the most heart? I think both teams is trying to find their identity, their playoff identity, as well. Um, I'm going with the Grizzlies, and I think it's going to go to full stretch though.
Mm.
Yeah, I think it's going to go to full stretch. So John
Okay.
Morant that dude's going to be the face of the league. I know everyone's talking about Luka's going to be the new face of the league.
Nah,
It's going to be John Morant, man.
it's not even close.
As long as he don't he keeps his knees okay. He don't go the way of Derrick Rose. Um, this kid, the sky's the limit for this dude.
Yeah, stay away from injury and scandal. And so far, the kid looks like he has a great head on his shoulders. I don't think his father will allow it to happen, any kind of fuckery like that. And it's just about health, just like with any old young player. It's
The
just
only
about
thing,
health.
the only thing with him is will he stay in Memphis? That'll be it. You know what I'm saying? Will he stay there?
I can see him as a complete the mission kind of guy. You know what
Like
I'm
the
saying?
like Giannis in Milwaukee?
Yeah, I can see him
Okay.
as a complete the mission kind of kid. But yeah, I'm leaving this alone. I have no picks on this one. Jamal, what's the series you want to go in with next? Excuse me.
Go with next. Raptors and second round Sixers.
I'm sorry.
That was
That's sorry.
almost where I wanted to go to if I was going to jump you. But go ahead, let's go.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So the fabulous processed. We coming out the East for the 6th year in a row, most exciting team in the East, Sixers, find themselves loaded with James Harden and celebrating. And James Harden was supposed to be the key to their success and what have you. This is a tough matchup. They should get out of here and complete the mission and make it to the second round at least. I'm gonna go with the Sixers and 6.
I like that. I kind of want to roll with that too because the Raptors are like sneaky good in a way,
Mm-hmm.
and we're not fully sure what we're gonna get out of them. Just to be honest with you, so I do like the second round Sixers in 6. I do like that pick.
I think this is going to go to full stretch. 7.
7.
You got championship pedigree. Fred VanVleet has got a ring. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
He knows what it takes. Siakam's got a ring. He knows what it takes. OG and Anunoby, all their dudes are like 6'7" and better. I mean, that's an extremely tall team. And they can compete and switch with everybody on that team. They can play They can play and defend multiple positions. It's not going to be easy for the Sixers to come out of this. If the Sixers do win, like I said, it's going to go 7. I take the Sixers in 7, and then whoever they get in the second round, they're just going to lose like they do every year.
You know, the key to actually that series is Doc Rivers and James Harden.
Right.
And
if James Harden goes 3 for 15 and 25 points, and all of his points came at the free throw line, then he really didn't do anything.
That, and as long as Doc don't coach to lose.
Oh, he's going to do that. That's what he's been doing his whole career.
I can see that too, but a lot of it does bank on Harden.
Mm-hmm.
I do see that.
Just look for D'Antoni coaching the Sixers next year.
Imagine, and like JP said on his Facebook timeline, he said, "I don't want to see D'Antoni on the whole I-95 up and down the East Coast, anywhere near the East Coast."
Well, be prepared if they lose in the first or second round that his head will be on a billboard somewhere, welcoming him to Philadelphia. For sure.
But now, what is
after chance?
Now, see, all right, quick aside on that point there. Would that be beneficial or more harmful for what the Sixers have done? Harden has experience underneath him, and he cooked to the MVP with him. You know what I'm saying? He was cooking in Houston to become the MVP. But then scheme-wise, what does that take away from the rest of the team?
That's the problem.
How much does that help Joel Embiid with a coach like him? I don't see it. Now, Joel Embiid is an offensive threat, can be an offensive threat. But will it really benefit him? And I sincerely doubt it.
No, because Philly can't outscore anybody.
Yeah,
Philly's not built to outscore anybody. They have to play defense. And what does Mike D'Antoni coach? Offense. He does not coach defense at all. 7 seconds or less, baby.
Yeah, well, every coach coaches defense. It's just what's your real focal point. You know what I'm saying?
When your defense is going against traffic cones and chairs and shit, you know what I'm saying?
I feel you on that. I feel you on that. But where do you man up or woman up and take that into account for yourself? You understand what I'm saying?
I hear you.
Ultimately, what I'm trying to get at is you still got to take accountability for self.
You do,
but
the track record of the track record of D'Antoni has never been a defensive stalwart. You know what I'm saying? Like
go ahead, brother.
Yeah, like they got one of the best defensive players in the league. Yo, you forget Thibault can't play in Canada. This could drastically affect this series, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Thibault cannot play in Canada. You're taking one of your best defensive player off the floor for three games in effect.
so the quote unquote stealing a game, aka going out and doing what you're supposed to do and win, comes into play here.
Tremendously.
Good. I mean, MB's gonna ball out. So I mean, this is
Yeah,
the
because
Sixers series to lose still. I mean, but it's a rough series. This series can go seven. Like TJ said, Toronto is long. They're athletic. Um, they can switch on anybody. They can make it hard to get the ball to where to get the ball inside. you know, and they can beat that team up by the time they get to the second round. The prophecy will fulfill itself again.
And with that being said, I'm going to pick the next one because this is a breeze over, in my opinion. We'll go with some Bucks Bulls. This is Bucks in a sweep. The Bulls aren't the same Bulls that we seen at the beginning of the season, Jamal. This should be a quick dust up for Giannis and them boys. I'm going Bucks sweep. I'm not even giving them one.
That's
Yeah.
wow. No, the
Plus,
Bulls.
it's the Bulls. Fuck the Bulls.
Yeah,
I love you,
true.
Chicago, but fuck the Bulls.
Facts.
No, I love the city of Chicago, but the Bulls, no, they can eat shit. This not the same team. This is definitely not the same team from the first half of the season. Something got lost somewhere. Well, I guess Lonzo. But,
That was it.
Yeah. I'm going like. I think they're going to show a little bit of moxie. I'm gonna go 4-2 Bucks. Which is,
Ooh,
I
you
don't
giving
think
them 2 games?
I'm gonna give them 2. I don't think they're gonna win more than 2, but they're gonna, it's playoff basketball. So I don't think they're gonna get swept.
DeRozan's gonna have to score a lot of points, man.
Yeah.
DeRozan's gonna have to score a lot of points. Levine's gonna have to have that jumper working.
They got Levine and DeRozan, so they're capable of winning some games.
They are.
Those guys
they
play,
are.
So
that's why I said that they would go. I think they would go 5. They're just going to play a tremendous game.
True. Yeah.
But
and the Bucks,
the
Bucks take
is,
nights off. We've seen that.
They do.
Even last year in the playoffs, they say, "All right, fuck this game. We ain't gonna play tonight. We'll get it back next."
But that team is deep. Like Chicago's bench can't match up with Milwaukee's bench. It's if the bench comes out and anybody on that bench scores 15 or more points, it's over. It's over for them.
And
It's yeah.
And next series, TJ, your pick?
Hawks Heat. Who's that? Hawks Heat?
Yes.
This should be a sweep by the Heat, but Trae Young and them boys is not going to go down like that. I think this will go 6.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll give you 6 on that too.
I think this will go 6.
I'll give you 6.
I think they'll hold home court advantage. They think they win on their home court. The Hawks.
I'll give them 1 at home. Okay. But I mean, we're talking about Trae Young. This kid, we know what he did to us last year. We know what this Atlanta Hawks team.
Philly know what they did too. So you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, but
he did Philly worse. He did Philly worse.
This is true. But everybody loves to rag on New York because it's New York City. Plus, the WWE brought him out in New York City to wave and harass the fans also. So he's more of a supervillain to us than the city of Philadelphia. And then once again, I love you, Philly. But that's how unfortunately, that's how second your city is compared to ours. That y'all got whooped worse. But people don't think about that. They think about just shitting on the Knicks.
Yeah, and you know what?
Yeah.
Trae, even though he's a villain, as much as I want to dislike Trae Young, I can't. You know what I mean? His game is ridiculous, and it's like he's not a villain the way Reggie Miller was a villain. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yep.
He's not a villain like that. Like they boo cheer him in the Garden. You know what I mean? So it's like half and half. But Trae, with me, I'm going 4-2 with that series because Nate's gonna have those boys prepared. What we see with Atlanta now is that they're a different team in the regular season than in the playoffs.
Yes.
And so they may steal a couple, and if Trae goes off, Trae is capable of hurting anybody's feelings in any game.
Yes.
And they should be able to take at least 1 in Miami. So I'm gonna go 4-2 Miami.
And see, I was gonna roll 4-1, but y'all convinced me on the 4-2. I like it. I think Atlanta gets at least one at home, one on the road.
Well,
And
you
that's
know
how
what the
it's gonna
difference is too the coaching. Spoelstra is just such a good coach. You know what I'm saying? Like, I love Nate McMillan and what he's doing, but Spoelstra's been there so many times before. He's seen it all. He's
Yeah,
won a couple of chips already.
But
he's
Like,
Tibbs with
also too,
offense.
but also too, I don't like to give the coaching, especially in basketball. I don't like to give coaching that much credit because they're not the ones shooting the basket. They're just the ones that are telling them who to get on the floor and when.
well, they're
And
trying
that's
to
it.
put their players in the best position to win, though,
Yeah.
Dan. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Execution.
Meaning. Put these matchups together, and Spoelstra. I mean, I'm one of them who doubted him early. Like, who the fuck is this guy? He had the benefit of LeBron, D Wade, and Bosh, and the rest of that phenomenal team back then. That we don't see those fans no more, mind you. Remember that we don't see none of the Miami fans anymore.
No, they
But
travel. Yeah,
they gone.
they
They
travel.
they're player fans. Let's remember that they're fans of players. But yeah, I mean the dude has, I mean he's had his bumps in the road to where he was had a couple bad years here and there, but once he knows how to set his team up and put them on the floor the right way to make sure they get into the playoffs. And you can see the players clearly play for this man. The players clearly play for him. So
Yeah.
coaching difference, it's obviously going to be about the matchups on the floor. Let's
Mhm.
see how that goes down. But ultimately, like I gotta say, no matter what matchup you put on the floor, you still got to put the ball in the hole.
Word.
And that's it. No matter what the coach says, the coach don't put no baskets in the bucket no more. And with that being said, I'm a roll to. I'll roll and then Jamal goes. I know I went out of order. My bad. But I'm gonna go to Warriors Nuggets, where there's a
Mm.
coach there
Mm.
also who doesn't put the ball in the hole anymore. The Steve Kerr. Uh the war this series can go 7.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
I I'm gonna be the flake again. I'm gonna pick on everything else. I promise y'all. I promise. I'm gonna pick the rest because we got 3 more matchups left. I can't pick on this one either because this is gonna go 7, and this could be the bounce of the ball. Obviously, you know, this is a Warriors team with the core 3 pieces, depending on if Draymond comes back healthy to play. The core 3 pieces of their first 2 and 3 championships are still there, back. I mean, Splash Brothers, but we're talking about the potential MVP of this season. In
Hmm.
my opinion, I think, and as much as I love Joel Embiid, one of my favorite players in the league right now, if not the top one, next to LeBron, Nikola Jokic is the fucking MVP.
Yeah, man. He does
I'm
too much,
sorry.
man. He does
I'm
too
sorry.
much.
And when
Yeah.
you look at his numbers and what this man did, that man's the MVP. Golden State has nothing to defend that. So for Golden State to win, they're gonna have to shoot the lights out of that gym, Jamal. And like, I mean, 3-pointed them to death to where they can't come back.
Yeah. Um. Yeah, man. Denver can steal this series, man. This a tough ass matchup, bro. And if that core three ain't fully healthy, Steph is a little rusty. You know, um, this is definitely going 7. Uh, shit, I don't know who to pick. It's a winnable series for Denver. I think they're one piece away. That's that squad from really being a serious chip threat. They're still one piece away. I'm gonna go Warriors in 7.
I can dig that, but I mean, the way the West is set up right now this year,
Yeah,
TJ, it's like if Denver makes it through and Phoenix makes it through, like it could be either one of their series, in my opinion.
yeah, man.
Yeah. I mean, this is going to be a slugfest for real. And it's gonna come down to health of the Warriors versus the health of who's the last man standing on the Nuggets. Like you said, they have nobody for Jokic. And you want to talk about somebody who looks the least athletic, most unathletic NBA basketball player, but he's doing it with rebounds, passing, scoring. I mean, he was the first player that with 2,000 points, 1,000 rebounds, and 500 assists. The first player in NBA history to do that in a season.
And guess
That's
what?
ridiculous.
All of that stuff takes athleticism.
Right.
It's like-
Yeah, I mean, it's true. I mean, he may look different. It's not his fault. He's a point guard in Tyson Fury's body. You know what I mean?
But
yeah,
man.
yeah.
I mean, you got to think. I mean, they said Steph is going to be ready for game one. We'll see how far that goes. And Jokic is a master getting everybody on his team involved. He's got Will Barton playing great. The young kid Bones playing great. Everybody's playing hard. This is going to be a slugfest. But the Warriors do have that playoff experience and championship pedigree to know when to bring it all together. So I'm going to say it's the Warriors in 7 just off of experience. They've been there so many times before with their backs against the wall in so many series, and they know what it takes to win. So,
okay, but the reason why I couldn't say they've been there before, and specifically pointed out the core three of Draymond, Curry, and Clay, is because the rest of that team is very, very young. And I will say a key piece for, because you just reminded me, I forgot Steph Curry's coming back from injury.
right. Iguodala's back there too, though, I think.
Andrew Wiggins is going to be the key piece for them, I think.
Yeah.
Because if all four of them, if Draymond is back and all four of them can be on, that could be a 6-game series. That could be a 6-game series because Denver's not out shooting.
Nah, they still need another piece, man.
Yeah. So
Who's in the pit? Who's playing 5 for them? Is it for Warriors?
I don't remember.
Kuminga, Jonathan Kuminga, the young kid, or Wiseman, Wiseman, I think the big kid. Either one of those dudes, they're going to be a problem. But they're no match for Jokic. Like nobody's got smoke for Jokic in that series. Nobody.
He's just going to get people in foul trouble. Is what he's going to do.
He's going to live at the line.
And then
and he makes his free throws.
And then have his brothers ready to fight. the next fight, Jamal, is your pick. We got Jazz Mavs left. We'll save the New York team and the Boston team for last.
All right.
Pelicans, Suns. Pick one of the two.
I'm gonna go Jazz Mavs, and I'm gonna go 4-2 Jazz. I love shitting on the Mavs. That's just what I.
The Knicks West, the Knicks Midwest.
Yeah, just because they was pounding their chests and everybody was saying that they fleeced the Knicks for getting Porzingis, and we got fleeced and all that stuff. And we got a cap hell, we got picks, and we got better because we gave them that broken car. And where's he now?
This is
and
true.
So
on the Wizards.
Ever since we got fleeced by the Mavs, we've been whooping their ass. But no, I think the Jazz are too much for them.
Yeah, I think that's a we'll see also, but I promise picks. I'll ride with you 4-2 Jazz. I think just overall, at least starting 5-wise, the Jazz has a better combination than the Mavericks. And then it's about where the games are won. Obviously, the Jazz just beat them first game 99-93.
In Dallas.
There you go. So there's the one theft on the road. Donovan Mitchell just needs to stay healthy. I'm not sure who Dallas really has. I'm not sure who Dallas really has to stop Rudy Gobert. And yeah, I like 4-2, 4-2 Jazz. And yeah,
I got the Jazz in 6 as well. I concur with you guys. Dallas played just like the Knicks. Held the lead until the fourth quarter and folded. It was a typical New York collapse in Dallas. So I wasn't shocked there. Donovan Mitchell had like 2 points in the first half, came back and scored like 20 points or something like that in the second half. So um, Dallas can win 2 games. I don't see Luka coming back before Game 4 with a strained calf. That's one of the most difficult injuries to come back from. He just needs time to rest. If Tim Hardaway Jr. comes back, he's really not scaring anybody. He's a real streaky shooter. So I'm in agreement with you guys. Jazz at 6.
all right, we gotta get TJ out the fucking wind tunnel. But while you're there, while the wind died down, it's on you, Suns and Pelicans.
Well, it's Pelican Suns, and I got the Suns in a dog walk sweep of the Pelicans. 4 straight. I don't think any game will be close. I think they win every game by at least 10 points or better. The Suns are just too deep. Pause. Uh, Too much experience. They're on a mission to get back to the finals, and they've been playing like that since game 1. They're not here for the fuck around. All right, they're here for one thing and one thing only, and let's get back to the chip. It's a sweep, a straight clean sweep at that.
I'm in full agreement with you. Clean sweep. I think CJ McCollum Jamal is gonna have them in like 1 or 2 games, but like they're gonna look like they're in it, like 5 points, 5 point deficit at halftime, and then like TJ said, get dog walked.
Yeah, this is the only series I'm picking the sweep on. It's just the Suns got too much. Um, the Pelicans don't have enough. The Pelicans, they played well this year for what they got. I
Indeed.
will give them that credit, but the Suns is out to murder people this season. So you know,
Let me ask you this. Let
yeah,
me ask you this. If Zion was healthy and the series was going down, um, would it
I
make a
don't
difference?
I don't know because I don't know what a full season of Zion looks like and how much he helps a team. I don't
Facts.
know.
Yeah,
I don't have a sample size of Zion, so um, I really don't know if that would make a difference or not.
I
Okay,
agree.
fair
I
enough.
agree. Zion has not proven himself, unfortunately, to be really anything in the NBA just yet. Though would I take him as a Nick? Yeah, me personally, yeah. Yeah. If the boy can stay healthy, and
Hmm.
I have a feeling he's been I have, I have a feeling he's Ben Simmonsoning it, and he's not gonna be healthy until he's gone.
Yeah, he wants out. There's no doubt he wants out.
You know what I'm saying? I have a feeling he'll be healthy once he's gone, but yeah,
That's right.
I
He
I
wants out.
agree. But
He
yeah,
wants
no
to
more.
come to New York where there's 24 hours of food. So, yep.
Yo, this yeah, and the fact that there's too many dollar pizzas around, like
I say,
mad
love you,
dollar
Zion, but
pizzas,
yeah, man,
mad
we can't have you,
Steakhouses
halal,
man.
galore. Steakhouses
right,
galore in
right,
NYC.
right in the fucking across the street radius from the garden too.
Man,
Yo,
yeah.
and imagine like he finds an apartment in the Bronx, forget it.
Forget it. It's a wrap.
All the
Forget
Dominican
it.
food,
Oh my
Puerto Rican
God.
food.
Can you see Zion on Fordham Road, bro?
No, well, Fordham Road, nah. Fordham Road is all shopping. He would,
No, but
he
I'm just talking about the atmosphere, what walks around there, or Zion in the Heights.
nah,
It's a
yeah,
wrap, bro.
he'd have to be around like East Tremont or something.
Yeah.
He'd be like, he'll be clicking his heels talking about this ain't South Carolina anymore. For real. But
Yeah.
anyway, get off of the dog walk. Let's get to the to me, I think this should be the most competitive series in the whole playoffs. Uh Nets Celtics.
Mm,
Um
mm.
I'm gonna just keep it like this. No real professional or semi-pro analytics from me. Excuse me. I want to see the Nets whoop on the Celtics 5-1. but I think this is going to be a 7-game series. Kyrie is not coming to fuck around, especially with all the shit talked about that man because of the vaccine and all of that stuff, TJ, and the amount of the amount of time he had off. He's right now prime shape, I think, and he was getting himself in prime shape recently, and the man has been cooking. I just heard that he had a game where he didn't miss for the whole entire first half of a game. And you see, I'm not even talking about KD at all because I don't have to. If Kyrie comes out and cooks the way he wants to, especially in Boston, where he spent a spell of a time just to dust them off, like this series could go either way. I see it 7, TJ, but I see a Nets win.
Yo, this is gonna be 7. But yo, I don't know if you saw that playing game. Kyrie went 10 for 10 in the first half. 10 for 10 and didn't miss a free throw. The man is a magician with the ball in his hands, bro. He's ridiculous. He went in against those trees. It was like 3 dudes around him. He still got the shot off and one. It's ridiculous. And then you got
He was moving like that wind.
And then you got KD, whose jump shot is indefensible. He's got one of the purest jump shots in the game. Like that's gonna be a lot. I know Smart is a great defensive player, but Kyrie's is gonna roast him as much as he possibly can. But then you got Tatum and Brown, those two brothers. Tatum got the spirit of Kobe in him, you know what I'm saying? And Brown is a very good compliment to him. But where Celtics are going to lose at, I think, is their bench. I think their bench is not going to stand up to Brooklyn's bench. It's going to be Boston's going to hold their own. They're going to hold their home court, and this is where home court advantage is going to play a big difference in. And Brooklyn's going to win it in Brooklyn in 7.
And Jamal, like he mentioned, Tatum and Brown. If all it takes is for one of them to have a bad night in a game.
Mm-hmm. I'm going 7. The Nets, they live and die with his royal flatness. So, he's Kyrie, as he came back, he shows you why teams take a chance on him with all the other shit about him, why they still take a chance on him, because when he's dialed in, he's an assassin. Kyrie is a serious problem when he is dialed in. I don't know if the Celts have enough to overtake that, but the Nets are going to have to play lights out offensively every game. The Celtics can play D. The Nets, they got to outscore you. If Jamal, Tatum and Brown step up and have a couple of good games, they can win a couple of close ones, man, and take that in 7.
The Nets can't guard a shadow, bro.
That's the problem. They got
that is the huge problem, man.
Other thing is this: what is the big problem with Kyrie in the playoffs?
It's about him.
He gonna hurt something at some point. That is the question mark. If Kyrie stays healthy, my pick, the Nets win this in 7.
This is why this comes back to Dan's point. He hasn't played for like most of the year, so this is his mid-season right here. Like, this is like him fresh out the box. Like you just pulled the wrapper off of Kyrie, and now he's fresh and ready to go. And I think he's been waiting for this. I think he's super hungry for this.
Oh yeah, at least for Boston, But the thing is you can't not look at his track record. And Kyrie can get hurt at any time, whether it's the first month of the year, first month of the season, third month of the season, last month of the season.
Right.
That's the only out. That's the only X factor.
Right.
But if he's healthy and he's playing like that,
wait a minute. How do you feel about Ben Simmons coming back? Because they said Ben Simmons is coming back in this series at some point.
If Ben Simmons comes back, it's the Nets.
It's the Nets.
It's the Nets. That's a given.
And they don't. and you saw the Nets can't guard a shadow. All they need is Ben Simmons to play defense.
That's right.
To be
Facts.
honest with you,
Ben
and
Simmons will disrupt just enough.
yeah, and to keep it real, I'm gonna mute you, TJ. Sorry.
Mm.
And to keep it real honest with y'all, like this is that year that obviously the experiment with Harden failed, but I think that they're really gonna come together and like take this entire playoff run like deadly serious because I think Kyrie wants to prove okay
Hmm.
he could do it without LeBron, like he thought he could when he left and went to Boston. KD wants to shake to me, and this is just ancillary shit. This is KD wants to shake off the I went for the easy chips. You know what I'm saying? I went for the easy chips, and we came together for a reason
Hmm.
because we knew we could do this over here. I think I honestly think this is that year for them.
Who's
They
beating them if
it's
Ben's playing, bro?
if
Who's beating
they
them?
almost have to do it this
Yeah.
year. And like Ed said,
So
Ed said the vibe of the team has also changed since a certain cancer was cut from the locker room. Yeah, the team is having fun again. I mean, that's why I mentioned Harden the way I did.
Yeah.
And it was what it was with Harden. Is
so
It's just
what would
track
that
records, though, man. Track records of certain players. It is what it is.
so what would the headline read if Philly gets bounced in the second round and the Nets make it to the conference finals?
What you mean if?
first first
What you mean if?
first one first one would be
Who
first
got
one
fleeced then? Who got
first
fleeced?
first one would be as usual for Philadelphia. The next one the next one would be Ben Simmons on like the Philly Inquirer or whatever the newspaper is. That would be the next one for Ben Simmons. He'll be on the cover. And then in New York, I mean, they'll just rub it in the Knicks' face.
That's what I'm gonna say. I think that's the first headline because the Knicks,
I mean, in New York,
even
that's
losing, the
it.
Knicks is still relevant, bro. That's the problem. The first headline will be Nets win, Knicks watch other teams celebrate. That's the headline. That's
That's
the
it.
headline. They'll see that because that's what it is. But
Mhm.
with the Nets though, it's just like what the Nets have been ever since they united a big three. Is the Nets are capable at any time of taking it down if everyone's healthy, and those are just facts.
Yeah, yeah, man. But the facts is, I'm still up in the air with what the fuck is going on. Just a quick update for those watching live. Y'all listening on the podcast, the game will be over by the time it's up. But the Timberwolves are up 97-92. And yeah, the lead still has never went out of the favor
Mm,
of the Timberwolves this entire
mm,
time we were talking about them.
mm.
In the last comment on basketball, Ed said the Knicks will always own this team. I think he means the city. He says, I don't mind Brooklyn being the most hated team in New York City. Yeah, it is what it is. It is what it is. I think the Knicks are the most hated because there's too many New Yorkers that are anti-Knicks, that were Bulls fans, that were freaking they were Lakers fans, or then they became, oh, I'm a Kobe guy. I was just a Jordan fan. All
Mhm.
that bullshit. I used to hear it
Dan,
all back in the day.
if the Nets happen to pull it off, the parade will only be held in Brooklyn. Put it like that.
Yeah.
Nah, no, no. It's always in the Canyon of Heroes down
I can't
M1
see it.
district.
I can't see it.
They'll do, I think, or what they might I would consider and think of them doing would be shutting down Flatbush Ave and
Yes.
taking it from downtown Manhattan
Yeah, to the across the
over the
Brooklyn
Brooklyn
Bridge.
Bridge with
Mhm.
Yes.
and then doing it from there. I
Yeah.
can see that happen.
Yeah.
Ed
Yeah.
said it's kind of fun, like being NWO or Bullet Club and wrestling. Well, I mean the colorway is there with the Nets, black and white.
Mhm.
So I
Yeah,
get
yeah.
it, man. I get it.
Just
But
don't lose to Boston, man.
he said, no parade. It will be similar to what the mayor did for NYCFC winning the MLS. A nice quiet ceremony for the Nets. Nah, it'll be a parade, and NYFC just unfortunately it was I mean, well, one, it's New York City ain't really up on MLS like that,
Especially not that
and
mayor.
yeah, and well, Dumb Blasio's a fucking retard, but I digress.
Mm, mm.
Um, but uh, but yeah, that's that. And now let's get on to some more New York politics and drama. This gun violence, yo.
Mm.
This gun violence in New York City has been absolutely absurd. Um, just about a week or so ago, a little longer than a week ago, there was a 12-year-old boy who got killed by a stray bullet in Flatbush, just in the car eating with his family. There was a 61-year-old woman shot in the back, for no reason in the Bronx. If you remember a little earlier this year, maybe a month or two ago, there was a 3-year-old or a 2-year-old that got caught in the crossfire of a shooting, I believe, in Brooklyn. And the child lived. That child lived. It was just I forgot the type of wound they said it was, but all of this led into the fucking Gotham City fucking Arkham Asylum, like setting up like he was one of the Joker's henchmen
Yeah.
on the N train early this week, where this man, I don't have his name, nor does he even need to be mentioned, uh, decided to throw a smoke bomb in the car and then let off over 30 plus rounds in the train car, hitting 10 people. I don't think he killed anyone, but they said injured up around 20 plus different people on this train car. Jamal, TJ, whichever one of y'all want to speak on this before I just pop in the head, go ahead.
Yeah, TJ.
Yeah, this is it's gotten to the point of ridiculousness. And if you found out how NYPD handled this whole situation from beginning to end, it is comical. No cameras worked in the subway station where this event took place. Not one camera was functioning. How is that even possible? And to the fact that the man had to call the cops on himself to be caught. And when he called the cops on himself, they didn't even show up on time. They caught him like 3 blocks away.
And how about you mentioned NYPD dropping the ball? How about the initial drop of the ball where they did not deem this a terrorist act?
Yeah, that's trash.
Which is
How?
complete.
That's trash.
It's complete horseshit.
Yeah.
Because
he terrorized the whole subway system.
He terrorized a small section of Brooklyn.
Yes.
They had schools
lockdown.
Lockdown and do stay in place drills and shit like that because of this guy, because they didn't know what the fuck what was going on. Because and it was just a whole it was just a whole terrorist thing. Like, it caused me to post up on Facebook the definition of terrorism. And it described exactly what the fuck just happened. Exactly what the fuck just happened was the definition of terrorism.
When you throw a smoke bomb in a crowded subway car, that's already enough to cause panic and have people acting up. That was you with the ice cream truck in the background.
That's why I threw it to y'all.
Okay.
My wife took the kids over across the street to the truck.
Okay.
But once he threw the smoke bomb in, it wasn't even like a practical joke, like some kids throw cherry bombs and shit like that. No, he threw a full-on smoke bomb, put a gas mask on, and then started firing randomly into the crowd. If that's not the definition of terrorism, I don't know what is. I don't know what is. And the fact that NYPD dropped the ball multiple times in this situation, and the dude could have easily gotten away, been in another state, another country for that matter, at that point, because they had no idea where the hell he was or who he was. is ridiculous.
But again, dropping the ball reminds me of another thing. The shooter himself is a freaking retard who dropped the ball because you
Not really though, Dan,
no
because you know
no
what?
go, go ahead, say what you're gonna say and then
Yeah,
I'll explain why he
not
was
really because NYPD didn't even shut the trains down. The dude got on another train across the platform and got away.
Yeah, he was trying
now
to get caught too.
exactly, and this is where I say he dropped the ball
Mhm.
because how are you so stupid enough to leave the bag behind with the van that you drove in? They found the van in Gravesend
I
with the
think he
keys,
panicked. I think he just panicked.
allegedly keys, credit card, and all of that stuff. They found the credit card, was able to trace the credit card to who rented the van, and then found the guy. And then found the
Yeah,
guy. And then, of course, by way of the internet, Jamal, they utilized old videos that he made on YouTube
of course. You know that
to
was gonna happen. Yeah.
say hello. Say
Well,
hello to the missus. But yeah, they utilize his old videos of talking spicy on the internet, which he was talking about. He wanted to kill a whole bunch of different types, or you know how we say, "Yo, I want to kill such and such." Like it looked like it was like that, but he showed his mental instability to where, nah, you could look at a guy like that and think something like that was gonna happen one day, but
yeah.
not to this level of Batman henchman,
Yeah.
freaking Jamal.
Yeah, no, I think the Gotham City reference was correct. Um, this event is the cross section of quite a few things. Of course, there's the gun control issue. Um, there's mental health issue, um, and there's the terrorist issue because that was an act of terrorism. This dude was unhinged. The country's unhinged. We have 4 years of the whole shit with Trump plus plus the reverb from that right now. um, 24-hour news cycle, making everybody feel that everything is going to pits. Then you throw in 2 years of a pandemic, right? Then you throw in the fight over the pandemic, whether you should get shots or not. There's been an assault on the mental of the entire populace. Um, the wrong people are able to get a hold of guns. I mean, this dude, they said he was from Philly, but really have an address in Ohio, one in Wisconsin, yeah, another one like Raleigh Durham. It's like, come on, So this dude had access to weapons when he shouldn't have.
Well,
He was
he
disturbed.
had clearly had a registered gun. He tried to scratch off the serial,
Yeah.
but
So, and then he committed a terrorist act. Now the flip side of this is right now we're in a proxy war, whether they want to admit it or not. That war going over there in Ukraine, and this is how this connects. Russia then came out and saying, we're saying, hey, we're not giving. We just started admitting we're giving Ukraine weapons. They just started admitting that, right? So Russia says, okay, there's gonna be repercussions for that. So who's not looking at incidents like this and saying, how can we fuck with the U.S.? Oh, shit like this, easy to sponsor. So you know, but I think, oh boy, I mean, it's
what's
indicative of the types of crimes we just had in this country the last 10 years. This this ain't the last of it. There's going to be several more probably this summer, and this type of stuff. There's going to be copycats, and
that's
people are
that's what I was getting to. Go ahead.
they're on the internet and getting unhinged. You know how algorithms work. If they once it locks onto you, it's going to keep feeding you shit. That's going to continue to make dudes like this guy just blow a gasket. So I just say, yo, man, everybody, man, it's gonna be a rough summer. You have to get a helmet.
Yeah, and that's the yeah. It's not even the summer yet, and New York has went through hundreds of freaking shooting crimes already. Like the thing that I was reading, some of the stats, crime stats in New York, they compared. This was from March. Um, it says shootings across the city jumped 16.2% from 99 last year at the same time to 115. But this was from March of 2022. The article I'm looking at. So this is just for reference.
Well,
It
Dan,
says
I saw a
robbery
stat on. Go ahead.
is robberies have went up from 854 to 1267. And
Damn.
then and then even car thefts in this city has went up from 655 last year March to 1,044 car thefts.
Yeah, man.
So crime in this city has been wilding the fuck out, even intensely. Now, I had my feelings about Eric Adams because of being a city employee. There was talks about cutting employees, cutting wages, things like that. As a guy, I wasn't for that. I didn't want
What's
that
up,
out of
Jose?
I didn't want that out of a mayor of for my city. You know what I'm saying? Um, but it just seems ironic. It feels ironic that under this mayor who is trying to be law and order, who is a former cop, who talks around people that were that I knew of from NYPD. One guy particularly told me his brother actually was his partner in the streets for a little while. Said he was a piece of shit in the streets, but I don't
Yeah.
know him to call him that. You know what I'm saying? But then I hear shout outs to the homie T Smith who said as Brooklyn Borough president, he's done great things for the city for the borough of Brooklyn. You know what I'm saying? So there's like a mixed bag, and I just find it weird that it's a black mayor's in office now, and now we're hearing about all these crimes spikes and all this, that, and the third. It goes to the algorithm talk,
It's not a
Jamal.
It's
coincidence.
convenience.
Right.
It's
Yeah,
not a
it's convenience.
coincidence.
Yeah,
You know,
because
that's
they want to.
go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, they want to always do that. They always go to pound on cities, the big cities, and like Chicago and New York. But the truth is, the fastest growing crime rates over the last 6 years have all been in red states, and those are facts. So, but they're gonna, and Mayor McCheese don't do himself no favors, you know. But yeah, they're gonna hang this on him,
Yeah.
But what I'm
They
afraid of
also
him
they also
is opening up them old draconian NYPD policing ways. That's what I'm afraid of.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. They also fail to mention like the poorest states are the red states as well. You know what I'm saying? And we're paying them to keep them
100%.
afloat, and nobody mentions that at all. You know
Yeah,
what
they've
I'm
been being
saying?
subsidized, bro.
Yeah, they're being subsidized by the big cities.
Hmm.
But my biggest fear is the copycat, and
Yeah,
what are the preventive measures going in so something like this doesn't happen again? And I think it's impossible to 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 quell something like this on a scale that it needs to be done. I
Yeah. I
mean,
I feel you on that, and I is there going to be a copycat? I don't think so because I think
I
most of
hope
the
not.
yeah, same here. I think most of the petty shit is the real like copycat type crime. Most of the big shit like this, like you think about, like, no, actually, some of that shit is it. You know what it is when I'm thinking about other crimes that's happened like across the country. Like remember the wasn't there the movie theater shooting when the Batman movie came out?
Yeah. That was in
Um,
Denver
yep.
hmm
Then you think about that was the Columbine, right? No, Columbine was the
mm
school,
school.
the
That
one
was
that they
also
blew.
in Colorado. Yes.
Right,
Colorado.
but then you think about the Sandy Hook, which they conspiracies about Sandy Hook. You think about the Onyx nightclub in Florida. Like the gay club that the
Right. I got
shooting
shut up.
happened in, and it's like these things happen, but in like years apart. So, I somebody copycatting this, maybe somewhere else in the country. Maybe somewhere else in the country. I'm not gonna go as far to think that it's gonna happen in New York City so soon. But like Jamal mentioned, all the draconian NYPD laws, a lot of them are gonna come back. Which
Hmm.
shout out to my boy John who made the great observation of all of you people who were anti-mask and anti the government telling you what to do by way of wearing a mask, all of a sudden are pro stop and frisk and the government telling you what to do. You know what
Listen,
I'm saying? Like it's it
listen.
it's shit like that. It's shit like the fumble of not calling this a terrorist attack is really what bothered me the most because it made me say, okay, this is clear as day that in this country, it's more about what your religious beliefs are and, in what deems you a terrorist. So if this happened to be Ock from the fucking bodega that was going to work on like freaking 5th and 46th Street, shout outs to that store that used to be my spot to go buy cigars when I worked in Brooklyn, right down the block. But if this was Ock from behind the bodega
Mhm.
who did this, Muslim man, this would have been deemed a terrorist attack.
Easy.
It would have been a
Easy.
different narrative. It would have been a completely different narrative.
Totally. It would have been ISIS. It would have been this. It would have been that. It would have been all bullshit because it would have probably just been the man lashing out like this guy did, which this guy also reminded me of the movie Falling Down.
That's right. That's exactly.
He came in with his briefcase, aka a duffel bag, with a bunch of dumb shit on it, ready to do dumb damage. And it didn't show. I mean, this whole crime, besides it being stupid, it showed how stupid he was. Because it's literally you panicked and you left all your evidence behind for you to get caught as easily. It's like you wanted
It wasn't
to
thought
get
out,
caught.
Dan. It wasn't
You
thought out.
wanted to be caught.
Yeah,
Well,
it
no,
wasn't thought.
it was thought out enough that you decided to. If you're
Right.
gonna drop a smoke bomb, that's it. You're throwing a smoke bomb in a New York City train. You thought about this shit for a little while and how you wanted to do it.
Right.
Gas mask. You thought about how you wanted to get away.
Right.
You failed at completing the mission on fully getting away. Because let's keep it real. We hate that this happened. But if it was a smart criminal, that person would have never gotten caught. Because we're now in the times where you have to wear a mask on public transportation.
Mm-hmm.
And they still haven't lifted it. In fact, I think they extended it even further by CDC recommendations.
They did.
So that if there's anything that should tell you to do, I'm sorry, MTA, drop the mask mandate.
I think
that's one of them things.
Yeah.
But I'll give it to you. I'll give it to you, Jamal, next.
Mm-hmm.
But two, fuck you, MTA, and I'll say it again. Fuck you, MTA, because now you're going to utilize this one train station that didn't have cameras to work to cry broke again, to raise fares on people again. And to just again keep jacking us for more money. They
multi-billion-dollar organization.
And they
multi-billion-dollar
and they just got billions of dollars from the government to save them. Because something I told my wife when I was driving her to work during the pandemic, I was like, all these free rides that the MTA are giving on the buses is nice, but I guarantee you that as soon as that they decide to stop, they're gonna cry broke. Exactly what the fuck I called happened. Because that's the MTA's MO every 3 to 5 years or less, is that they cry broke. So now they're gonna cry broke to upgrade the security system.
Where's the money going though? Where is the money going?
It's going to the upper echelon's pockets. That's
100%.
it.
It's a racket. The MTA and the airline industry need to be federally investigated.
Nobody is snitching in that group, bro.
They are.
Nobody's snitching in it.
Come on. Even going back to the days of Roger Toussaint telling Mayor Bloomberg to shut up. They was stealing money. So, but no, Dan, you're right. I'm just thankful that most of these people who decided to do these terror attacks, just thankful that most of them are of low intelligence, because if they weren't, I mean, you can't police that. That's just your populace. You have these people walking around in your populace, and unfortunately, you're reactionary to those types of people unless somebody dimes them out, which is usually their family. Their family always know. You know your cousin Levon is crazy. You know he got issues like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's a good thing. But I think that whole designation of them not calling it a terror attack, I don't think that had anything to do with New York. I think that came from Homeland Security, and I think by calling it a terrorist attack, the first thing they would have said is because we're helping Ukraine fight Russia, and this is the Russians, and it would have spiraled into something else. That is my opinion of why they tried to stop calling it a terror attack.
Right. Sure. But everybody else though has been smartly calling it a fucking terror attack,
because that's what it is.
Yeah, it's exactly what it was. And one more, because I know you want to talk, TJ, but another big fuck you to Uber.
Surge
to the
pricing.
Oh,
company Uber,
dog.
who
Oh,
did not want to drop the surge pricing at first, and then Lyft too, but then Lyft eventually changed it. I don't know if Uber changed it at all in that
I think they
time,
both did. There was an
but
article out about both of them
yeah,
doing
Lyft
it.
Lyft changed it first though. Like it was
Yeah,
like, okay, we get it. Let's help the people in Sunset Park only. And then I
yeah.
think,
If you can't
and then
levy
I think,
fines against them, yeah. Go ahead, brother.
go
Finish.
ahead, go ahead. No, go ahead. No, that was it.
No, if they can't levy fines against Uber and Lyft for what they did, this is at least a legislation point that they need to do something because that was beyond fucked up. You know what I'm saying? That's cannibal capitalism right there, and
word.
that's when capitalism, becomes bullshit. Because that was fucked up to take advantage of a situation like that, bro.
Yeah. And it was like if they dropped the pricing, what was because and again timing. This happened during rush hour, eight
Right.
something in the morning. That from 30, what was it, 30 between 36 and 30, 36 and 25th Street, the train station. That ride from that part of Brooklyn to Manhattan turned to $80 in surge pricing. And that's not even a far ass distance.
Nope.
Yeah.
I make
It's,
that
it's a
I make
it's a
that
less it's
drive
about a mile, if that.
I make that drive every day just about further.
Damn. Damn.
Well, I mean, from Staten Island to Spring Street in Lower Manhattan, it's not that bad. During the pandemic, I was getting almost from door to door in 25 minutes because there was no cars, and TJ knows how I drive.
Yes.
I'ma do it.
Yes.
They called me the Barry Sanders behind the wheel for a reason. You know what I'm saying?
In a
But
minivan, people. In a
that
minivan.
at that time, but but yeah, fuck them, because that's just bullshit. Now you could say this is a win for the cab industry because the cabbies been hating on Uber and Lyft for the longest. But guess what? I mean, short sidebar, it's your own fault, cab industry, because
That's
you and your
right.
racial profiling did that. So fuck y'all too.
Fuck them.
And
Yep.
I'll never forget the day that the head of the TLC was on the news at a press conference talking about how it's okay to racially profile. And this is a person who was that was a shade in between all of us.
Mm, mm.
Latino or Hispanic man who was the
Not
head of the
surprising at
TLC.
all.
And this was years ago, but I remember him saying that. But this was before Uber and Lyft were a thing too, you know. But I do feel bad for them because a lot of them lose their lives to the pressure of just the lack of business. And I I don't want to keep rabbit holing down that side because again it goes back to fuck you New York City for price gouging these people into businesses to where now they have to go past OSHA laws of driving 12, 14, 16 hours a day to be able to cover $1 million medallion tag.
Right.
But I
Fuck a
digress on
racket.
all that. I
Yeah.
digress on all that cabbie talk. It was just back to the fuck you to the whole cab industry. How about that? Fucking surge
So
pricing and the traumatic time just because you could do that.
so going back to Jamal's point of the draconian laws, if they bring back stop and frisk in New York City, it's going to be a big problem. A big problem. People know their rights. There's videos every day of people getting stopped by police. You think that shit is going to be, that shit will explode. And you don't think people are going to fight back against the cops before? We don't fuck
Right.
around with the cops in New York City. Yo, we will swing on a cop in New York City for
It's gonna
some.
be
They
tough to enforce
they might
because
swing
yeah,
on a cop.
yeah.
I'm not, but
Nah,
they might.
I'm just
Shout out
saying.
to my brother-in-law who's a
I'm
cop
just
also.
saying. It's going to cause a lot more problems than solutions.
Actual factuals.
I
It's gonna
mean,
be harder because the neighborhoods are more gentrified now. Also,
but not only that, they're only going to be stopping minorities, which is going to go right back to racial profiling. On top of that, they're not stopping white folk.
yeah,
They're not stopping the kid in Birkenstocks and jeans and a kufi hat. You know what I'm saying? They're not stopping that dude. Meanwhile, he got 4 pounds of weed in his backpack
right.
and 3 bags of coke in his pocket, type shit. You know what I'm
and
saying?
and that's what makes that even more interesting, the fact that now weed is legal. So guess what, your
Yes.
stop and frisk is simply going to be I don't like the way that motherfucker looks over there.
Skin look, yeah.
That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, and then
You no longer have the yo. It smells like weed in here. No shit, it smells like weed, nigga. I could smoke you out here for right now.
Hmm.
on top of that, it's going back to, oh, you were talking back to me, so now I gotta throw your ass in the clink.
And I had a moment like that where I got pulled over right when around the time we just got this Traverse. I went to the store, came back home. I hit the turn signal, but out, my car has you could tap it in a thing and
He just does it twice,
does
yeah.
yeah. I didn't know it was a cop behind me, and the dude just talking to me like all crazy, like yo, your signals don't work, like what are you talking about? Like I don't even know the car like that. Like I just got it. I'm just getting familiar with it. My he did the yo, let me see your turn signals. I looked it over and I was like, yo, this shit's working. I'm talking to him kind of like this. He's like, oh, what are you talking smart to me? This, that, and the third. Blah. Like he was getting aggressive for no reason. But then
But
what
go ahead.
neutralized him? My work ID and my badge.
But there's no law for talking back to the police.
That's
There's
the
no
whole
law.
thing. That
There's
is
no
the
law
whole
for
thing.
talking reckless to
Yeah.
a cop.
So
There is no law. It's called your ego and pride law. That's
it.
all
So
it is.
sensitive. It was so
That's all it
sensitive.
is. It's
That's
your ego
all.
and pride law. I can talk back to you the way you talk to me. What you give is what you're going to get back.
And
And
But
they fail to realize that. They
that's
fail to
how it
realize that.
should be. That's how it should be. You're supposed to give respect, get respect. That old slogan is that simple. It's that
They should be
simple.
the first people giving respect
Mm.
at all
What
times.
is it? Isn't respect one of the slogans on the side of their car?
No,
I
I don't
think
even know what it is.
it's like
Serve and protect?
courtesy.
serve and
Yeah.
protect, but I mean, respect might be the last R in there or something like
Right. And this
that.
wasn't this what I mean, we could be whatever. This wasn't meant to be a bash cop situation
It's not. It's not at all.
because also too, we can salute them for the quick work. Like they got on it. Even though dude was a numbskull who fucked himself up, but it was quick work with a bunch of fumbling of the bag moments in between. And it happened within a matter of days, which works out for why we do the show.
But
It
like
worked out on the weekend.
but
You know
like
what I'm saying?
Jamal, to Jamal's point, anybody just with a hint of being a little bit smarter, you still be looking for this guy, and he'd
Factor.
be long gone,
Factor.
long gone,
Yep.
long gone in
Mm.
somebody's
It's
basement
gonna come down to
in
people,
Minnesota
as
somewhere. You know what
usual.
I'm saying?
That's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
But that was it. Speedy recovery to everybody who was injured.
Indeed.
Hopefully
Yes, sir.
everybody, I mean the thing that everybody don't talk about, hopefully everybody within that situation gets the right mental health
Yeah, that's a very traumatic experience.
discussions and talks and assistance that if they need it.
Hmm.
Salute to the MTA workers who that's where I will salute. I will salute the employees of the MTA who acted fast to try to help get people to safety. They recognized about four of them. Salute to the anonymous people, if you want to call them snitches, but they're not snitches because they weren't on that guy's side. Who gave the tips to get the reward? They split the reward between I think 5 people or 4 people that
Oh,
gave a
Zach.
tip.
When
That
did
yeah.
Zach caught him?
Zach
Zach.
Zach caught him.
But what was it like 50 grand or something like that split between them? A nice little come up
That's what's up.
because they caught the dude in in the East Village. Dude was in the streets like trying to be outside. Like, what is wrong with you?
You know what's gonna happen when I hate to say this. The streets are gonna catch the next person that do it, and they're just gonna wear that motherfucker out, B. And then it's gonna be what it is at that point.
And you know what I would say to that? One would hope.
Yeah, no, it's always for real. But isn't it always the people that solve this though and catch people?
Yes.
It's always the people.
Yeah.
You know?
We need you.
Yeah.
We need you, but we need you to do it without a paycheck.
Mm.
I mean, that just kind of makes me think about volunteer services, like how outside of like New York City, most places are all volunteer fires, things like that. Like, yeah, we need you, but we need you to do this for little to nothing. You know what I'm saying? But that's just how it goes. And this is how this ends. Y'all know what to do.
Shout out to everybody in the comments. Shout out to Dan. Shout out to Jamal. Another great conversation. Another great episode this week. We got that the barcode back, so click on that to link to all the web tree to the Starting Five podcast to catch all our latest podcasts and merchandise and things like of that nature. Come through, come on the show if you have an opinion on anything we said about it. We appreciate it. Please do. We want to hear your side of the story of the issue as well. Trust and believe that.
That's what's up. Shout out to everybody. Shout out to everybody in the comments. Shout out Maya. Shout out TJ. Wishing everybody happy Easter, Passover, Ramadan. If you celebrate Ramadan, the sun's going down soon. Hope you get your grub on tonight. Yeah, man. Love to have more people on. If you got an opinion about something, definitely jump on. Come kick it with us. Another great show.
Word up. And I'm working on trying to get my cousin on and his people from the End of Regulation podcast. Shout outs to my cousin Tyler, his boys over there. Low, Bert, and all the cast of characters they got behind the scenes. Dope show. Check out my boy Lou, the Everything Podcast, represented the homie this week on the show. But yo, next week I could give y'all a preview because I mentioned it in the comments of a thread. There's a list out there that showed the greatest players in NBA history for each team. And a lot of us people of a certain age seen a bunch of discrepancies in there. And to be honest with you, I mean, there's maybe like 5 to 6. It's not a lot, but they're argue worthy. We're going to talk about that list next week. And plus, because Jamal, there was something you mentioned earlier in the show that I was going to say something, but I say it now. When you talked about the villain, we're going to, during this week, y'all have to develop a top 5 sports villains. And we're going to stay in sports for another week. But a top 5 sports villains of all time.
Does
And
Brady
now,
make that list?
Now we're going to develop our own top 5s, but we are going to actually define a 5, not no particular order, a 5 to 1. I kind of know where my number 1 is. I will tell y'all that off air, but next week stay tuned for that because we're going to have some fun. Y'all want to be a part of it. Y'all heard this. I'll clip it up. I'm going to throw it up on the TikTok. I'm going to throw it up in the Facebook group. Top 5 sports supervillains.
Ooh, that's gonna be spicy.
Yeah, it's gonna
be spicy.
But anyway, peace out, Ishtar, and
keep it Ishtar.
Keep it Ishtar. I'm a
disposable planet, disabled planet.
We out, y'all.